Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts.
Hey everyone, checking in on the market. Currently working on a cold and a fever, so I have to keep it a bit brief. I had a bit of a frustrating day, not only being sick, but it was the kind of day where if I'm sick, I'm not going to trade, because if I'm not 100% when I'm trading, playing a hard game, I am stacking the odds against me. But we saw the volatility that we're looking for as day traders today, finally seeing some market pullback. So I did nibble a little bit, but it ended up being, if it were similar to poker, I would compare it to just bad beats. In the sense that for two trades, I was off by about 30 seconds of my execution from nailing the move, and in the end got stopped out. So ended up with a small loss of a day, but just missed on a multiple day maker, and I'll point out the trade on XBI that I'm talking about. But starting it off with SPY, bear volume stood out. And when you're comparing back, you have to make note, yes, last week was a holiday week, so it's easy to see more volume than that. But I was going back and comparing it to 2 weeks ago and still seeing, yes, there is high bear volume today. We closed week down at the low. We had a bearish reaction to the manufacturing numbers. We had Trump talking about more tariffs if China doesn't make a deal. So at this point, we're looking at three scenarios where we have a head and shoulders, where if we hold the daily high or low, anything above 309.06 is a daily high or low. If we hold that support, fail to break the all-time high, and then roll over, that's a head and shoulders, and we're then in a daily downtrend. Scenario 2, after the week close, bears continue to pour on the volume and we just break 309.06 support tomorrow, losing the daily uptrend and seeing weekly consolidation underway, or we keep the daily uptrend and we head back to all-time highs. That's looking like the least likely scenario at this point. We've seen high volume on red days, but it's important to note what the candlestick shape is, because this has lower wicks of bulls buying the dip. This is the highest bear volume day with a weak close that we've seen in over a month. Hourly bounce, fairly weak. We topped out at 312.60 and closed near the low of the day. So as we head into tomorrow, for all individual names and sectors, the most important levels for me are the low of today and the high of the bounce. Can the bulls change the hourly trend, or do we continue with an hourly downtrend of lower highs and lower lows, keeping the bears in control? So out of all the names that we're about to look at, SPY and QQQ are the weakest. And again, it's the same potential head and shoulders. It's either a bear break of the daily high or low 262, or the potential daily head and shoulders setup for QQQ as well. And again, the weekly time frame had seen a pattern of a higher low every single week for both SPY and QQQ for 8 weeks in a row. That has now broken. So weekly consolidation is underway. The question is, are we going to lose the daily uptrend and see significant weekly consolidation? So IWM pulling back significantly as well, but still well above 157.23, its daily high or low. So not as close to losing the daily uptrend as SPY and QQQ are. Again, every name, high of the hourly bounce attempt and low of the day, are the key supports. And I can see two levels here on IWM in the 160s, which are the most important resistance levels for me tomorrow morning. XLF, we had a fake out in the sense that XLF bulls bought the dip significantly first thing this morning, and it almost looked like, oh, here we go again. The XLF bulls are going to save the market from weakness. QQQ's dumping, but we're back at the high of the day on XLF. Then we hit a new low of the day, and as soon as that new low of the day hit, and look at that volume, it was, uh-oh, maybe the bears do have follow through today. And the 5-minute downtrend continued for another hour plus. So XLF, close to its 10-year high. XLF 10-year high is 30.33, and we got up to 30.26 today before a high volume pullback. Anything on the daily above 29.52 is a daily high or low, keeping the bulls in control. We have daily exponential support, which has held a half dozen previous consolidation periods for the last 2 months, and that's being tested now. SPY closed just under it for the first time in almost 2 months. That's standing out to me. And again, if we're going to see significant market weakness, not only does QQQ have to lose the daily uptrend, XLF needs to lose it as well. Healthcare sector, anything above 97.05 is a daily high or low. There's no red flags on this consolidation. There's no high bear volume. We're holding exponential support. We're holding the daily uptrend. So looking just fine. XBI. So XBI, I've been looking bearish for XBI on a few days with the daily RSI, the most overbought in 5 years. And I put my stop on my entry for LABD just over 94 as I was top fishing the high of Friday. So of course we broke that level in the last climax push. Look at this bull volume. It's the last climax push before the bears take over, and that's me getting stopped out right there. So again, just not enough wiggle room with my stop. Should have perhaps scaled in a second order. The bull volume did make me leave that stop in place. And it's just a good little lesson in hindsight. Again, very small loss. It's not like I lost much at all. It's just a lot of money left on the table because this was the start of the consolidation that we were looking for. And the biotech sector was the weakest for a large part of today. Daily uptrend is not anywhere near close to being lost. Anything above 83 is a daily high or low. And the VIX finally getting a big bull spike after a couple months of slow bleed. What is the difference? Upper wicks and a strong close. Hourly time frame trying to be a bull flag. And we'll have to see markets and sectors break their low today, first thing tomorrow, if we're going to be looking at this potentially confirming with hourly follow-through. So the next level we're looking at is up at 1520, which we actually did break today. So let's zoom out to the weekly. What would we need to see for significant weekly shifts? We're looking at 2150. Anything under that's a lower high. But the bottom line is we reached a point where the bulls, I should say the market bulls, lost their grip. And we saw a first little spike in fear. If you look at SPY and the dollar today on the daily time frame, you would say gold and silver probably had a really good day. Look at that dollar bear day. And then you look at the candlestick and say, what? We didn't even break the high of Friday and silver broke the lowest price in 2 weeks? Very disappointing day for the metals if you're a bull. And to not be heading up to test this resistance on a day like today is a bit of a red flag. So I am paying very close attention to the metals and miners for the next 4 to 6 weeks because I believe that we are going to see a volume and volatility spike in the very near term future. Do I know which direction we're going to break? No, and I'm not going to try and predict it. I am going to react to the break when it takes place and look to make a play off that. It's a bit tricky because we're looking for a monthly high or low on metals and miners, but we're also looking at the potential of a weekly bear flag. So some mixed signals on different time frames, and we would have to see gold get over 1479 for a significant shift on the daily chart. Again, pull up the 2-day chart on gold. Ever since our top, every single move is a lower high, keeping the bears in control. And actually, I'm looking at NUGT. That's what the example I want to give. 2-day time frame for NUGT. Every single move, lower high. I'm just condensing it down to make it more clear. And here's the attempt. Here's our high or low. And this will be the first change in this momentum if we can get over 2910. Otherwise, we just have a continued tightening range into next week if we pull back under 2910. Key resistance test approaching in the bull miners. But again, we have to see gold try and make its way up to 1479 resistance for those bull miners to get a bull break. Silver's the same thing. 1722 has to break for the bulls. And again, we broke to the lowest price in 2 weeks. So bulls just not present in the metals today. Miners holding on just fine. It's just a battle at resistance. And if we reject from that resistance, we have a daily equilibrium to be watching into next week. Oil 4-hour chart. For both oil and natural gas, the 4-hour chart has the clarity for me. Low, high of the bounce, starting last night when futures opened up. And now the question is, can we change the 4-hour trend and see follow through on this bounce with a higher low and higher high? Or are we going to pull back enough that a 4-hour equilibrium is going to be the result heading into perhaps the inventory report on Wednesday. So best case for the bulls would be to hold 55.61 and break 56.65. If either of these names can change their daily trend or their 4-hour trend, we zoom out and we look for a daily lower high to be set compared to where we came from, which for oil is 58.65. So 4-hour time frame for clarity. Natural gas, we've got the same setup, but the bulls a little bit more convincing that our higher low has been set now. So low, high, higher, low, and 232 is key resistance. And we have the potential of a 4-hour trend change, and if we get it, we zoom out and we look for a daily lower high compared to 2693, which is the last lower high on the daily chart. So inside bars on the daily and 4-hour tightening ranges if we want to zoom in for a bit more detail. So again, all about the low of today and the high of the bounce attempt into tomorrow. Tons of volatility out there. Roku was great for volatility. NVDA, bears kept most of the control, but lots of volatility on individual names. Even names like Netflix, significant dump, significant bounce. And we'll see what tomorrow brings. Either hourly trend changes and bounce gets followed through, or a break of the low of today and daily uptrends start to become at risk. Hope you had a good day. Do good things. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey guys, could you not do that to my plants, please? Hey guys.